Good afternoon and welcome to Watertown Cable Access's coverage of the Watertown High School Raiders baseball team. My name is Dan Hogan, and we're going to bring you some live coverage of some baseball on this sunny Wednesday afternoon. Watertown hosting Lexington in a scrimmage. That's right, today's a scrimmage, so it's going to be a little fluid. No uniforms quite yet. It looks like the team's going to be playing in just sweatshirts. No numbers, no nothing. So it's going to be just a very casual scrimmage between the Raiders and Lexington. Both teams are currently still warming up. Looks like we're going to get going here in just a few short moments as the Watertown outfielders are wrapping up their warm-ups. So once we get going here, I'll be back to bring you coverage of what is sure to be an exciting scrimmage baseball game. Stay tuned. All right, and it looks like we are about to get going. If you're just joining us, welcome to WCA TV's coverage of Watertown High School baseball. My name is Dan Hogan. The Raiders will be at home today here at Victory Field on a bright and sunny Wednesday afternoon to take on Lexington in a scrimmage. That's right, today is a scrimmage. The Raiders have already played one previous scrimmage, and they'll be playing another one on Friday before they get their season rolling next week in the month when we get into the month of April. A couple quick things about this Raiders team. A couple things to note. Last season they captured one of the bottom seeds in the Division III North bracket, the 17th seed actually. They won 5 games last season to sneak into the playoffs under the Sullivan rule. This season they'll be looking to improve, but pretty low numbers for the Raiders this year. I was talking to head coach Aaron Manukian before the game. He was telling me that he's only planning on fielding 11 position players early this season. He's got a few pitchers as well and a few backups, but today, at least to start off, he'll be having a rotation of 11 position players, and the lineup is 10 batters long. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out for the Raiders in this game and earlier in the season with such low numbers. Just about ready to get going. Starting a little bit later than scheduled. The scheduled game time was 3:45. It's about a little after 4 o'clock now. That happens, though, with travel times for the opposing players. Although the Lexington team was here, I think, before the Watertown team was. Lexington might get out of school a little bit sooner. But it looks like we are ready to go here. Pitching for the Raiders is Ruben Sara, also a pitcher last year, the southpaw. First pitch, high and inside for ball 1. The scoreboard is also not working today here at Victory Field. It is a scrimmage, so they're not quite pulling out all the stops. Second pitch from Sara, swung on and missed, gets by the catcher, but a 1-1 count. So after every pitch, I'm basically going to be saying what the count is so I don't forget it because it's not in front of me on a scoreboard. Sara's third pitch. Up and high, breaking ball there from the lefty. So we have a 2-1 count to the leadoff hitter for Lexington. That pitch is swung on, grounded to the third baseman. Strong throw, but it goes past the first baseman, so it looks like the runner is going to reach on an infield single. It was a high chopper down the third base line. It was handled pretty nicely down there by the third baseman, Nick McDermott. He's playing third base today, but his throw was a little strong over the outstretched glove of the first baseman. So we have 1 on and nobody out. Second base umpire has conveniently decided to stand right in my line of sight, but that first pitch was in there for a called strike 1. That pitch swung on, skied into center field. Center fielder is under it. He makes the catch easily for the first out. Very sunny out today, but the sun, I believe, is going in the opposite direction. So fly ball shouldn't be a huge issue for these outfielders today. Man on first with one down here in the top of the first inning. This scrimmage between Watertown and Lexington. Check to first. He's back safely. Sara standing in for second pitch to the third batter up for Lexington. Next pitch inside, almost hit the batter. And honestly, everybody at home, I've lost count of what the count is. It's going to be very nice when the regular season rolls around and we have a scoreboard operator here for the regular season games. Not a very big crowd on hand today. Got a couple of people in the stands behind home plate. I think I saw somebody over here on the near side near the Victory Field stands as that ball gets fouled off behind the catcher. Catcher gives chase, but it goes up and out of play. I believe that's the first strike at this at-bat. Sara's pitch is swung on, skied straight up in the air. Infielders are under it, and the catch is made. Second out of the inning. Bit of a breeze, as you can see by those two flags in the top left corner of your screen, blowing out towards left, really left center field. So 2 out, 1 on here in the top of the first. First pitch of the at-bat. Just out. Oh, nope. Called a late strike by the ump. Catches the outside corner. 0-1 count. Second pitch is swung on and missed. Sara up ahead quickly in this at-bat, 0-2. Runner on first. Be interesting to see if he takes off here. That pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Sara puts him down. He retires the side. And we're going to head to the bottom of the first with the score still tied 0-0. Sara let the leadoff man on in that inning, recovers nicely. And we'll head to the bottom of the first with a tie game. I'm going to step away for a quick moment. We'll be back in the bottom of the first for more Watertown Rangers baseball. Stay tuned. And we're back, about to start the bottom of the first inning. Stepping in against the Lexington pitcher will be the leadoff man for Watertown, center fielder Chris Iannetta. Chris Iannetta also from the Raiders basketball team, fresh off a impressive regular season, but they had a fairly heartbreaking first-round exit. Chris Iannetta stepping in on the left side. First pitch, swung on and missed. Ball caught the lower outside corner. Iannetta couldn't catch up to it. Strike one. A one pitch, swung on and missed again by the leadoff man. Strike two. Oh, 2 pitch, inside, ball one. Looks like it almost hit Iannetta there, but ball grazes into the dirt. 1-2 count, no on, no outs. Top of the first here in this scrimmage between Watertown and Lexington. That ball swung on, grounded foul, back to the backstop. Couple of onlookers standing right behind the umpire and the catcher there. So the 1-2 count to Chris Iannetta. A pitch down in the dirt again. Even count at 2-2. Very sunny Wednesday afternoon here at Victory Field. Our first baseball game of this spring season. 2-2 pitch. Outside, Iannetta battling back nicely to make it a full count. Full count pitch, swung on, grounded down the right side, snagged by the first baseman. Runs to first easily for the first out. Iannetta put together a very nice at-bat right there. He was down 0-2. Fought off a couple pitches. Took a couple of pitches in the dirt. Battled back to make it a full count. Put a pretty strong swing on it down the right side. But a nice play by the first baseman. So next up is the pitcher. This is Ruben Sara stepping in the 2-hole for the Raiders. That pitch swung on in, missed. The Lexington pitcher once again out ahead of a Raiders batter. That pitch down and away for ball one. 1-1 count. One pitch to Sara. That's out and in away. Ball two. Raiders will have one more scrimmage after this on Friday. We'll be broadcasting that game as well, part of a doubleheader, baseball and lacrosse. And then next week, they'll actually open up their season. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled in the dirt, back to the catcher. Even count at 2-2. Nobody out, one out, nobody on. Two pitch, swung on and missed. Sara goes down swinging. Looked like it might have been a breaking ball there that was on the outside. Sara chased it. Might have been called strike even if he didn't swing at it. 2 outs in the inning. Batting third here for the Raiders is David Willett as he takes a pitch down and away in the dirt. David Willett playing first base this afternoon for the Raiders. Batting out of that third spot in the lineup. You might notice he's wearing some different colors than the previous 2 batters. Last I checked with Coach Aaron Manucci, and the Raiders didn't yet have their uniforms, so they're kind of playing with whatever they got. Strike 2 to Willett. So Lexington's pitcher out quickly once again. 0-2 pitch. Takes it for a strike. Oh, apologies. That was a 1-1 pitch. So that's the second strike. All right, the 1-2 pitch to Willett. Out, down, and away. Evens the count at 2-2. Two outs, nobody on for the Raiders in the bottom of the first inning. Willett trying to get on to get their power hitter, George Darmati, to the plate as he takes a pitch inside. So we got a 3-2 count. Full count to David Willett. Raiders looking for their first base runner. Payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded down the left side. Foul. Willett stays alive. Full count pitch once again. Swung on down the left side, past the third baseman, but goes foul. So Willett putting a couple of powerful swings behind the last couple of pitches, but both of them going foul. Three-two pitch, 2 outs, nobody on. That ball is swung. This one will stay fair. It's snagged by the third baseman. Throw to first. Picked out of the dirt, but he's called safe. Umpire says he went off the bag. Excellent pick over there at third base by the Lexington third baseman. Very strong throw, but it was in the dirt. First baseman couldn't quite reel it in. He had to come off the bag just to grab it. David Willett is on with what I'm sure will be ruled as an infield single. Now the cleanup man for the Raiders, George Darmati, stepping in. 2 outs, 1 on. First pitch fouled back behind home plate. 0-1 count. Pitcher stares in at the power hitter. 0-1 pitch, fouled straight back to the stands. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. David Willett over there at first base. A lot of pitches thrown here in the first inning, not a lot of base runners. 0-2 pitch, in there, called strike 3. Just caught the outside corner, and George Darmati goes down on strikes. The Raiders strand 1 over there at first base after an infield single by David Willett. So we're going to head to the second inning with the score knotted up at 0. You're watching Watertown versus Lexington in this early season scrimmage on WCA TV. We'll be back to bring you more action in the second inning. Stay tuned. And welcome back. About to get started here in the top of the second inning. Looks like pitcher Ruben Sara back on the mound for a second inning of work. His first pitch down in the dirt for a call ball one. Before we went into the break, we got to look at that replay of that ground ball by David Willett in the first inning. I think he might have been out, but doesn't really matter now. Second pitch, it's called strike one. 1-1 count. No outs, nobody on here in the top of the second inning. Lexington up to bat. Sara's pitch up and way away for ball two. This is our second spring season of broadcasting with this setup over here at Victory Field. Pitch down in the dirt once again. 3-1 count. We got two cameras mounted up here on the Victory Field press box. And out in center field, we have a camera so we can get you this great view that you see right here of the pitcher, batter, catcher, and umpire. And if there's anyone at second base, get a shot of that as well. 3-1 count here. That pitch is swung onto the shortstop, sliding to grab it. Throw to first in time. Nice sliding play there made by Chris Hatfield, the shortstop for the Raiders. Good strong throw over to the first base. And we got one out here in the top of the second. That one could have been dangerous. All right, so one down here in the top of the second. Ruben Sara still on the mound, the lefty. That pitch swung on in, missed. Oh, 1 count. Lexington up to bat. That pitch down and in, skips away from the catcher for ball one. 1-1 count. Sara's pitch down and in, 2-1. See that wind is picked back up, still heading out towards left center field. Sara in the windup, the pitch up and in. So 3-1 count. Pitch grounded to third base, snagged nicely once again. Strong throw to first, but the runner beats it out. So we're going to have one man on here. Good snag over there by McDermott. But the runner was safe by a couple steps at least. So one out here, man on first. Sara looks over to first, fires the pitch. That ball is hit up in the air. Catcher and first baseman giving chase, but that's going to land here in the Victory Field parking lot. Sauer looking over at the first base runner. That pitch way inside. Might have hit the batter. No, just missed him. Ball 2. A hit by Lexington with Sauer's second hit allowed in the game. No walks yet for the pitcher. That ball's in there for a called strike. 2-1. That pitch swung on, hit out into center field for a base hit. So 2 on with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. So new batter up for Lexington. Sauer's pitch in there. Swung on and lifted behind the bleachers. Strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. That ball is skied out into the outfield. Right fielder and center fielder giving chase. Diving play. Does he make the catch? No. No, they hit the ground. Nice effort, though, by the center fielder, Chris Iannetta, out there. But we got the bases loaded now with 1 out. First pitch to the new batter. Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Bases loaded. Oh, 1 pitch is high and inside. 1-1 count. One pitch swung on or looked at by the batter to throw to third. Runner back in plenty of time. So I think we have a 2-1 count here with the bases loaded and 1 out. That pitch off the end of the bat, lifted off and foul. 2-2 count. Bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. That pitch off the inside of the bat, straight back to the backstop. Count remains 2-2. Sauer trying to work his way out of a jam here. Bases loaded. Pitch. Out and away, strike 3. But apparently that's going to end the inning. I think I completely missed wherever there was a second out in that inning. But apparently that ends the inning. So, Sauer works himself out of a jam somehow. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second inning, where the score is still tied at 0. We'll be right back. Well, we're going to keep it right here, but I'll be right back. And we're back here, ready to start the bottom of the second inning. Up batting first is the catcher. This is Brennan Cook stepping in to lead off the inning. Oh, 1 pitch in there. Swinging strike 2. Two-strike pitch, grounded out in front of the catcher. Catcher throws to first. High throw. Ump calls him safe. Infield single for Brennan Cook. Little dribbler right there in front of the plate. It was fielded fairly quickly by the catcher, but the throw was a bit high. And running to second base, and he's in there safely. Stolen base for Brennan Cook. So runner on second for the Raiders. No outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch as that's down and in for a ball. And once again, I've lost track of the count, so I hope you're keeping count back at home. Once again, the scoreboard's not operational, so I got nothing to go on except my memory. Squares up to bunt, dribbler down the first base line, picked up by the pitcher, who fires to first in time for the out. Nice play there by the Lexington pitcher. That was Nick McDermott who was up to bat there. Good news for the Raiders is, though, he nudged him on over to third base. So Raiders have a runner on third with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch into the next batter. This is Chris Hatfield, the shortstop. That ball up and in for ball 1, 1-0. Runner on third for the Raiders. The pitch, high and in. Catcher checks at the runner on third, but he gets back in time. Two-0 pitch. That swung on, lifted down the left field line, but it's going to go Foul. Left fielder giving chase, but didn't really have a shot at it. So we got what I believe is a 2-1 count here to Chris Hatfield, the shortstop. That ball off the end of the bat is going to go back foul. Hatfield batting 7th this afternoon for the Raiders. Lexington's pitcher in the windup. The pitch in there for a called strike. And that's called strike 3, so Hatfield goes down looking. Any kind of contact would have been very nice there for the Raiders as they have a runner on third base. So now it is up to the number 8 hitter, the extra hitter for the Raiders, Deddy DeRocher. So he swings at that one, called for a strike. 0-1 count to the 8th hitter. That pitch is down and away for a ball. 1-1 count. Runner on third base. That pitch down for a ball as well. So runner on third here, 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. Still no runs on the board. Raiders looking to strike first here. Here's the pitch. That ball is swung on, grounded to the third baseman. Plenty of time, fires in time to get the batter. So Watertown, they're going to leave a man on third here and head to the top of the third inning with the score still knotted up at 0. You're watching Watertown Raiders baseball on WCA-TV. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, Ruben Sara digging in here against the Lexington order. Top of the third inning. Score still knotted up at 0. First pitch is going to be in there for a call strike 3, just catching the outside corner. Or called first strike. My apologies. Getting way ahead of myself. See, we're also, as this is a tune-up game for the teams on the field, it's also a tune-up game for me and the rest of our broadcast crew. As that ball is swung on and missed. Strike 2. So the 0-2 count. Pitch from Sara. Breaking ball is going to be way outside. 1-2 count. Sara's pitch off the end of the bat, grounded foul. Count remains at 1-2. Nobody on for Lexington. Crowd starting to fill in a little bit there behind home plate. 1-2 pitch. Just high. 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, no runs on the scoreboard. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Sara. Breaking ball is inside. And that must have been a 3-2 pitch because it looks like he drew a walk there. So Sara's first walk of the game, I believe. Catcher checking to first, runner back in plenty of time. Second pitch is up and away for a ball. I want to say we have a 2-0 count here, but I really should stop speculating. That pitch out and away once again. 3 balls, no strikes. Man on first for Lexington. That ball is down and away. No, so it looks like now we got 3 balls. 3 balls, 1 strike. That ball is out and away, and that's ball 4. So 2 runners on now for Lexington. They get the leadoff man on. So Lexington once again threatening here early in an inning. They left the bases loaded in the second inning. Sara's pitch out and away, ball 1. One-0 pitch. That swung, grounded out in front of the pitcher's mound, easily handled by Sara. He chucks it over to first. The runners advance, though, so now we have second and third with 1 out for Lexington, who are still threatening here. Didn't look like Sara even paid a glance to third base or second base, looking for at least getting the lead man or trying to turn a double play. Just took the safe throw to first to get that first out of the inning. Watertown seems to desperately need it right now. First pitch fouled off back behind the stands. So runners on second and third for Lexington. That pitch is up for a ball. Down and away for another ball. 2 runners on, second and third. Sara trying to work himself out of yet another jam. Ooh, that pitch barely missing the strike zone. Brennan Cook held it there for a moment, trying to frame it for the ump, but the ump wasn't biting. So we got 3 balls now on this batter. Sara's pitch, that's down and away for ball 4. Ducks on the pond once again. Bases loaded for Lexington. Sara trying to work his way out of this one. Brennan Cook coming out to talk to his pitcher. Bases loaded with 1 out. Lexington is very much threatening here on this sunny scrimmage day here. First pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. One 0 pitch is high. So 2-0. Bases juiced for Lexington. Sara's pitch is in there for a called strike. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch from Sara. Way inside. 3-1 count here. Lexington is 1 ball away from taking the lead here. Sara needs a strike, and he needs it badly. Sara's pitch in the dirt. Nicely snagged by the catcher, but it's going to allow a run to score. So Lexington takes an early lead on a bases-loaded walk. Trying to gauge if there's anybody out there warming in the Watertown bullpen. Looks like there's somebody running around down there. That first pitch is called on the outside corner for strike 1. Bases still loaded. Sara's pitch swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. Ruben Sara trying to get out of this inning with minimal damage. That ball is swung on and hit into the outfield. It's going to be a base hit. 1 runner is going to score. Ball gets by the catcher, so the runners are going to advance. And if my math is right, 2 runners cross there, and Lexington takes a 3-0 lead. Ball was hit sharply into center field, right off the end of the bat. So still 1 out. Sara had worked his way ahead of that batter. He was up 0-2. But tried to get that 3rd strike in there. And the batter just roped it to center field off the end of the bat. That was one of the louder hit balls so far in this game. That ball is down and away for a ball. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Lexington. That probably could have been just a single by that batter, but errant throw. And that throw is grounded out to 3rd base. Nice throw, though, for the 2nd out of the game. But another runner comes across to make it 4-0 Lexington. So man on 3rd now. Sara digging in, delivers a curveball for strike 1. That ball down and away for a ball, 1-1. Swung and missed for strike 2. Two outs with a man on 3rd base for Lexington. 4 runners already across here in the 3rd inning. Sara's pitch is out and away for ball 1, 1-2 the count. That ball is whacked deep into left field, over the head of the left fielder. One run is across. Runner digging in for second, and he'll get there standing for an RBI double as Lexington takes a 5-0 lead. That ball was skied over the head of the left fielder for Watertown, PJ Benitez. So Sauer's worked his way to 2 strike counts in multiple at-bats here, but has been unable to deliver that 3rd strike. Pitch in there for a called strike 1. So we got a runner on second base with 2 outs, 5 runs across here in the top of the 3rd inning for Lexington. Sauer's pitch is away for a ball. 1-1 the count. That pitch, batter takes it, throw to third, runner makes it in time. And that ball is grounded over to third base, handled by Nick McDermott, fires to first in time to get the runner, and that retires the side, but not before Lexington hangs 5 runs on the Raiders here in the top of the 3rd inning. So Watertown deep in the hole here in this scrimmage. We'll see if Ruben Sauer comes back out for the 4th inning, but for now we're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd as the Raiders are looking to play catch-up here. You're watching Watertown Raiders baseball on WCA TV. We'll be right back. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Watertown in an early 5-0 lead here after 5 runs were scored by Lexington in the top of this inning. Lexington had the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. They couldn't do anything with it, but they capitalized big time in the 3rd inning. But Watertown looking to maybe be on the comeback trail here. Standing in, leading off, is the left fielder, PJ Benitez. Number 9 hitter in this Raiders lineup. Watertown using 10 hitters in the lineup, so we got 1 more before we circle back to the top of the order. A lot of lefties on this Raiders team. This is the 3rd left-handed batter I think that they've sent to the plate so far. Never a bad problem to have. That pitch is up and away for a ball. Very sunny afternoon here at Victory Field. A bit chilly. Not quite springtime weather yet, but hopefully by next week there'll be some very nice spring weather as PJ Benitez draws a leadoff walk. And that brings us to the 10th batter in the order. This is Ben Fandetti. Ooh, he gets hit in the helmet with that pitch. Coach and training staff quickly out to look at him. Yeah, that pitch was very much up and in. First pitch of the at-bat. And that looked to strike Fandetti right on the left top of his head. I'm going to step away for a minute while the trainers and the coaching staff look at him. Hopefully we'll be back with some good news. A nice round of applause from the Lexington team as Fandetti walked off under his own power to the dugout. So he's undoubtedly done for the day. Hopefully he's fine. So a runner will be brought on to replace Fandetti, and he'll jog down to first base. So the first two batters are now on. Now we make our way back to the top of the order with Chris Iannetta. That ball is down and in for a ball. So the 1-0 count. That's up and away as well, 2-0. Chris Iannetta grounded out to first base in his first at-bat. Two-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Powerful swing by the leadoff man. 2-1 count. Two-1 pitch to Iannetta, swung on, didn't get much of that one as it dribbles foul. So even count here at 2-2. Two runners on for the Raiders, first and second, nobody out. Top of the order. It's a recipe for success. See if they can do something with it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That ball swung on and missed by Iannetta. He goes down swinging. First out of the inning. So next up is Ruben Sara, the pitcher. He struck out swinging his first time up. That ball is up high for call ball 1. One-0 count. Sara takes ball 2. Runners on first and second. 2-0 count. That ball's away for ball 3. Ruben Sara can load the bases with another ball here. I don't imagine he'll have the green light. I'm sure he'll be taking all the way. And he does. And it's a late call strike, but clearly a strike, so 3-1 count. Hitters count here for Sara. Swung on, lifted into right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Nobody scores, so the bases are going to be loaded here. But Watertown now in business with 1 out. That ball is lined sharply to center field, hit very powerfully, so the runner on second didn't really have time to get all the way around to score. But the Raiders have bases loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. So stepping in now would be David Willett. He takes first strike. Last time up, David Willett singled. Singled here, would probably score a couple runs. He fouls that one back, though. So we got an 0-2 count early on to Willett, the first baseman for the Raiders. If he gets on here, the slugger George Darmati would come to the plate. Bases loaded for Watertown. The pitch. High and inside for ball 1, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That's away for ball 2, evens the count. David Willett looking to start the comeback here for the Raiders. PJ Benitez is the lead runner over there at third base. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed by David Willett. He goes down on strikes, 2 outs. It's the second strikeout of the inning for the Lexington pitcher. Chris Iannetta and David Willett going down swinging. But that's going to make way for George Darmati, who's stepping into the plate now. 2 outs, bases loaded. His team down by 5. Can he come through with a big hit here as he takes the first ball? 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, down and away for ball 2. pause for a moment to allow George to tie his shoe. Those shadows starting to really creep over the infield diamond here at Victory Field. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded straight back to the backstop. Bases loaded for Watertown. Here's the pitch. That ball is swung, grounded down the left side. It's booted by the third baseman. He recovers, throws. Not going to be in time, though, as a runner's going to come across to score, and Watertown stays alive. That ball was rifled to the third baseman. He got a glove on it, knocked it down, tried to recover, but by the time he did, George Darmati was already at first base. So 5-1, tying run now at the plate. As that ball's down and away. This is Brennan Cook, the catcher, stepping in. The 1-0 pitch is swung on lightly, grounded down to the catcher. He recovers, fires it to first, I think, for the out, but looks like there's some question as to whether or not it went foul. Maybe a run scored. So it looks like he jogged over to first base. I'm going to go on a limb here and say a run scored. Or was it foul? It's important to keep in mind this is a scrimmage. Scoreboard's not working. So it's hard to tell from our vantage point over here in the Victory Field press box when something happens. That ball gets grounded to the left side, snagged easily by the third baseman who fires to first for the out. But at this time, we're going to say Watertown scored 2 runs in that inning to cut this lead, or to cut this deficit down to 3, as Lexington now leads 5-2. We're going to head to the top of the 4th inning with Watertown trailing by 3. We'll be right back. And we're back for the top of the 4th inning. My sources back at the station inform me that that play there at the end of the bottom of the 3rd might have been catcher interference, and that's what allowed that second Watertown run to score. So top of the 4th here, Lexington up to bat. Watertown has a new pitcher, and since it is a scrimmage and there are no jersey numbers, and I don't know faces that well, I cannot tell you who is currently pitching for the Raiders. But we got ourselves a ball game here as Watertown only trails by 3. That pitch down and away for a ball. And that one's called ball 4 as Lexington's runner will jog on down to first base. So 1 on with nobody out. Lexington has the leadoff runner on. Checking on the runner at first, diving back to the bag, but back in time. That ball up and away. So Watertown will have one more scrimmage this coming Friday after this. That pitch is away for another ball. The next week they'll get their season rolling. Watertown squeaking their way into the tournament a year ago with the last seed in the Division III North standings. So that ball is lined down the left field line, getting in there for a base hit. So 2 on, no outs for Lexington here in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That's down and away for a ball. Runners thought about advancing, but no advance for the runners at first and second. Here's a pitch. Grounded up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop. Fires to first. Is it going to be in time, though? It is, just in time. Runners advance, though, to second and third. No chance, really, at a double play there for the Raiders. The ball was picked nicely by the shortstop. That's taken all the way for strike 1. Watertown head coach Aram Manukian said he might be regularly making substitutions here in this scrimmage, so it's entirely possible that some of the position players have been swapped in and out as we've gone on here. As that is taken for a ball. Count is 1-1. Runners at second and third here for Lexington. That pitch is swung on and skied very high, but up and out of play. That pitch down and away for ball 3. pitch down and in once again. Still runners on second and third. No advance for them. Here's that pitch. That is swung on out to right field, or out to left field, sorry. And now the runner is going to come around to score. 2 runners score on that base hit. The ball got roped down the left field line. 2 runners come around to score easily for Lexington, and the lead is back to 5. So 7-2 now. Nobody on, or 1 on for Lexington. Up by 5 with 1 out. Runner on first base. That ball's in there for a strike. That late afternoon sun is just glaring into this Victory Field press box right now. Players on the infield have it pretty easy, though. Looks like they're starting to get shrouded in the shadows there from the trees at Whitney Hill Park. Very bright and sunny day here at Victory Field. Here's that pitch. That's down and away for a ball. Pitch off the end of the bat, sent foul. So 1 out, runner on first base for Lexington here in the top of the 4th inning. Watertown coming back with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 3rd. And that ball's in there for a called strike 3. So 2 outs. That ball just catches the outside edge for a called strike 1. Big breaking ball in there for called strike 2. Runner on first base for Lexington. 2 down here in the top of the 4th. 2 runners already across. Here's the pitch. Batter looking all the way, takes a ball. Runner going to second. Pitch is taken. He advances easily to second base. No throw from the catcher. Runner on second base now for Lexington. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt, back to the backstop. Runner is going to make a break for third. He gets there easily, rounds the corner. Doesn't head for home. So runner on third now for Lexington after a wild pitch. Two outs, runner on third. That ball's down and away for ball four. So runners on the corners now for Lexington. 2 runs already across in this inning. Lexington up to bat. 2 outs. Runners at the corners. That pitch down and in for a ball. Runner going to second. Throw from the catcher. Big mistake. As a runner easily comes in from third to score. Lexington set a trap there and Watertown fell right into it. Third run of the inning to come across. 8th run total for Lexington. Looking to add to their total here with a man on second. That ball's in the dirt. Runner makes a break for third. He gets there standing. So a runner on third base now for Lexington. 2 down in the inning. The pitch. Swung on right into the catcher. He'll throw it over to third. And that's going to be strike 3 and out number 3 as the side is retired. But Lexington adds 3 more runs to their total. Watertown's going to come up to bat here in the bottom of the 4th in just a moment. You're watching Watertown High School Baseball on WCA TV. We'll be right back. And we're back here for the start of the bottom of the fourth inning. Up next to bat for the Raiders is Nick McDermott, or at least this is his spot in the lineup. First pitch is way outside for ball one. Nick McDermott grounded out in his plate appearance in the second inning. That pitch it just catches the outside corner for strike one. One count. That one's fouled off the end of the bat, back towards the stands. 1-2 count to McDermott. The Watertown boys lacrosse team has gathered down the first base line. They're getting ready to practice, I think, after this game. Once again, this is a scrimmage, just a scrimmage between Lexington and Watertown. Just fine-tuning some things as that ball gets skied up into the air. Down the third base line, but it goes foul. Nick McDermott staying alive out there. And we got a timeout here as the catcher runs out to talk to his pitcher. Here's the pitch. That pitch is swung on back towards the stands. Catcher gives chase, but lands more or less harmlessly out there in the bleachers. A small contingent of students gathering out there. That ball goes down the right field line, out and out of play. Right towards that boys lacrosse team. Still no outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Leadoff batter Nick McDermott. Really digging in here, fighting off some good pitches. Down 6 runs here in the fourth. That pitch is out and away for a ball. The at-bat to McDermott will continue. Here's the pitch. And it just catches the outside corner for a called strike 3. I don't think McDermott liked it very much, but he will take a seat. So coming up next is Chris Hatfield, who takes a first pitch ball. Very high and inside. He struck out back in the second inning. That pitch is low and away for ball 2. That pitch is swung on and fouled up and out of play behind the bleachers. 2-1 count. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And another pitch, high and inside. Drives Hatfield right off the plate. The 3-1 pitch. Lifted back and out of play for a foul. It's going to make the count full. One out in the inning. Nobody on for the Raiders. Pitcher taking an extra second to think about what pitch he wants to throw. Here's the payoff pitch. Down and away in the dirt. All the way to the backstop. Doesn't matter. Hatfield's going to jog on over the first base for a 1-out walk. So first base runner of the inning for the Raiders, and that's going to make way for the extra hitter, Teddy DeRocher. He looks at the first pitch as it catches the outside corner for strike 1. Man on first for Watertown. Check on first. Back in time. Here's a pitch, as that's down in the dirt. No advance for the runner at first. This pitcher for Lexington has been a bit wild in this inning. A lot of his pitches have been high and inside or way low and away. As that one goes all the way to the backstop, it's going to allow for the runner at first to advance as Chris Hatfield takes his place at second. So 1 out, 1 on for the Raiders, trailing by 6 here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Teddy DeRocher watches that one go by for a ball. No check on second. Pitch fired in, and that's another walk. So DeRocher, he'll jog on down to first base for a 1-out walk here. 2 in a row allowed by the Lexington pitcher. And that makes way for P.J. Benitez, who has reached base twice already in this one. Big swing and a miss. Although this looks like it might be a substitute player. I'm not sure if it's actually P.J. Benitez. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 on for the Raiders. Runners at first and second base. Let's see if they start getting aggressive with their base running. That ball's way inside. That pitch is swung on and fouled off. Or strike 3, rather. I think he might have fouled that off right into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. So 2 outs, 2 on here for Watertown. We're going to head to the 10th spot in the Watertown lineup. Here's the pitch. Contact down the right field line. But the out is made. No advance for the runners, and the side is retired. So Watertown, they get a couple of runners on base, but can't really do anything with it, as they still trail by 6. We're going to head to the 5th inning now with the score Lexington 8, Watertown 2. We'll be right back. Top of the 5th inning, about to get underway. Watertown trailing Lexington by 6 here in this late March scrimmage between these two teams. Very sunny afternoon here at Victory Field. The sun is beaming into the press box over here as that first pitch is down and away for ball 1. WCA TV will be bringing you a lot of live coverage of Watertown's baseball and boys and girls lacrosse games throughout the spring season. Second pitch down and away for ball 2. We'll also be filming Watertown High School's softball games. Can't bring those to you live though, because those are played on the other side of town out in front of the Hosmer School. We don't have any live equipment set up out there. It's the first strike of the at-bat, 2-1 count. But we will be airing them on our education channels, channel 8 and 15, depending on whether you have RCN or Comcast. And that ball is outside for ball 3. And that pitch is in there, catches the outside corner for called strike 2. Nobody on for Lexington. And that ball swung on in, missed. Strikeout for the Watertown pitcher, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. That pitch is down in the dirt for ball 1. And don't worry if you can't catch any of the games live or on TV, as that ball is skied out into right center field. Center fielder gives chase and makes the catch. Ball was roped out deep into right center field, but nice job tracking the ball down by the Watertown center fielder, securing the second out of the inning. As I was saying, don't worry if you can't catch the games live or on TV, because we will have a handy sports report for you on Watertown Weekly News every Thursday night at 7 o'clock on Watertown Cable Access's public channel, Comcast Channel 9, RCN Channel 3. Little humble plug there for my own program. Produced alongside some great people at Watertown Cable Access. That ball's down for a ball. 2 outs, nobody on for Lexington. Another ground ball is foul down the left field line. And that pitch hits the batter. Breaking ball, lost control of that one. And the runner will jog on down to first base for a 2-out base runner here in the top of the 5th inning. And that pitch is high for ball 1. Strike 1, looking. So 1-1 count. Check on the runner at first. He's back in plenty of time. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swung on. Play at second. And he's in there safe. So, man on second with 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. And just like that, the side is retired on a called strike 3. So Watertown gets out of that small jam with the 3rd out. Still trailing by 6 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning in this scrimmage between the Raiders and Lexington. We'll keep it right here, but I'll be right back. Bottom of the 5th inning about to get underway. Heading back to the top of the order. Chris Iannetta about to step to the plate. Iannetta has grounded out and struck out so far in this one. Swings at the first pitch. Fouls it right back to the catcher. Strike 1. pitch that's grounded softly down the first base line. It's fielded easily. Throw to first base, though, is not going to be in time, as the runner is going to reach on an infield single. So Chris Iannetta on to lead off the 5th inning. That pitch down in the dirt. Iannetta heading to second. Going to be a close play, but he's in there safely. It looked like the catcher had a decent lead on the throw there, but the throw was too much to the second baseman's right side. Or to the shortstop's right side. Here's the pitch. That ball swung on, line down the left field line, out of play for a foul. So Watertown with a man on second with nobody outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch down in the dirt once again. No advance for the runner. That pitch down in the dirt once again. This Lexington pitcher struggling to get anything over the plate right now. Another ball down and in. And that's going to draw the walk. So 2 runners on now for the Raiders. Stepping in now is David Willett. That ball swung on, skied down the right field line. It's going to go out now to play. Two on still with nobody outs. Watertown up, trailing by 6 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That pitch down in the dirt once again. Catcher chases it down. Going to be no advance for the runners. Pitcher looks in. Ready to throw to second. Doesn't. Throws it home. Just catches the outside edge for a called strike. That pitch once again catches the outside edge, and he goes down on strikes. So David Willett can't do anything with the 2 runners on as he goes down looking. Now George Darmati at the plate. He looks at the first pitch as that's down and away for ball 1. Runner still at first and second for Watertown. That pitch, another one. Down on the turf. 2-0 count. Another pitch is low. Throw to third as the runner goes. Gets in there safely. Both runners advance. So men on second and third now for Watertown. One out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. That pitch is in there. Catches the inside corner for a called strike. Watertown with 2 runners in scoring position, trying to capture some momentum here as that ball is swung on and missed. First strike 2. The pitch. Down away for ball 4, so bases loaded now for the Raiders. George Darmati draws the walk. So Darmati has struck out, singled, and walked here in this one. Makes way for Brennan Cook, who steps in with the bases loaded and 1 out. Cook watches the first pitch go by, catches the outside corner, strike 1. That pitch low and inside, ball 1, even to the count. Another pitch, low and inside, 2-1 the count. Bases loaded for the Raiders. A single and 2 walks. They can cut the lead in half for the grand slam here. That ball is dribbled up the middle over the pitcher's head. Out at first, no out out at second, no out at first. And a runner comes across to score, so Watertown cuts the lead down by a run. The ball was grounded right up the middle, made it a fairly easy play for the infielders to tag second base, but they couldn't quite turn that second out for the double play. So 2 out with runners at the corners for the Raiders as that pitch is high and inside for ball 1. Chris Iannetta coming around to score on that fielder's choice. That pitch just catches the outside corner for strike 1. Here's the pitch. That's down away for ball 2. Catcher struggled to corral that one, but no advance for the runner at first. The pitch is swung on. Straight up in the air, but up and out of play. Watertown with runners at the corners, trailing by 5 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs. That ball is thrown behind the batter. Nick McDermott up to bat for the Raiders. He's grounded out and struck out in this game. That pitch off the end of the bat, fouled straight back. 2 strikes on McDermott. Looking to get at least one more runner across with a runner on third base and a runner on first base. The pitch. Up and in for ball 4. So for the second time in this inning, the Raiders will have the Ducks on the pond. Chris Hatfield now stepping in. He struck out and walked. That ball is hit out into center field. Center fielder tracks it down, though, and that's going to retire the side. Hatfield put a pretty decent blast into that one, but a little bit too high as the center fielder tracked it down fairly easily. And that's your third out as we end the bottom of the 5th inning. Lexington 8, Watertown 3. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, top of the 6th, about to kick off here from Victory Field in this scrimmage between Lexington and Watertown. First pitch is going to be a hit batter as Lexington's going to have a base runner to lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Not the start that the Raiders were looking for after trimming yet another run off of this Lexington lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. So runner on first for Lexington. Checking on the runner at first. He gets back safely. Runner on first. No outs here. That ball's inside. Well, they're going to say it hit the batter. 2 straight hit batters to start things off here in the top of the 6th for the Raiders. Not what they were looking for. Looks like we do have a new pitcher in there for Watertown, another lefty taken to the mound. Coach Aaron Manukian giving plenty of his pitchers time to get some action here in this scrimmage. So 2 on, nobody out. That pitch is fouled off, right off the middle of the bat. Checking on the runner at second. He's back in plenty of time. So runners at first and second for Lexington. No outs here in the top of the 6th inning. And that ball just misses. Looks like it might have caught the top of the strike zone, but the ump doesn't think so. So the ball right there. Second lefty pitcher of the day that the Raiders have sent to the mound. Runner heading to third. He's in there safely. Both runners advance, so second and third now for Lexington. That pitch is swung on. Hit into left center field. Gets tracked down easily by the outfielder. Very high fly ball there. No tag for the runners as they remain at second and third base. That pitch is swung on and hit foul. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Blows the fastball by him. That pitch is swung off the end of the bat. Skied down the first baseline, but up and out of play. So we got 2 strikes on the batter. Here's the pitch. Runners on second and third. 1 out. Contact off the end of the bat. Catcher had a read on it, but he couldn't make the catch. So the batter stays alive, and we still have 1 out here with runners at second and third for Lexington. That pitch swung on and missed. He goes down on strikes. 2 outs in the inning. First pitch in there, called strike 1. A 1 pitch taken high for ball 1. 1-1 the count. That pitch taken high once again for ball 2. 2-1 the count. High leg kick from the pitcher as he delivers that one high for ball 3. The pitch. Taken all the way for strike 2. Full count now. Runners at second and third for Lexington. Watertown can get out of a big jam here with a strike. The pitch inside, ball 4. He'll walk to first base, and the bases are now loaded once again for Lexington. First pitch high for ball 1. Two outs in the inning. Bases loaded for Lexington. Batter takes a ball high and inside. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike one. Second baseman starting to creep over to second base to keep an eye on that runner. Checks again. Fires towards home. That ball's fouled off and out of play. Bases loaded for Lexington. Already leading Watertown by 5, looking to pad that lead a bit heading into the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. And that is called strike 3 as he goes down on strikes and the side is retired. So Watertown getting out of a pretty steep jam there, leaving as Lexington leaves the bases loaded. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lexington 8, Watertown 3. We'll keep it right here. I'm going to take a quick break though. Be right back. All right, and we're ready to start the bottom half of the 6th inning. Could be Teddy DeRocher stepping in for the Raiders. Down by 5 here in this scrimmage against Lexington. Very likely this will be the last half of the inning. The boys lacrosse team is out here on the field waiting to practice. So as this is a scrimmage, we might end this one a little bit early. That pitch in the dirt, but swung on by DeRocher. That pitch on the outside called for a ball. That ball high and away. So nobody out here, nobody on for the Raiders in the bottom of the 6th inning. Swung on in, missed. For another strike. Pitcher in the windup, he fires. That one is up and in for ball 4. He'll take a stroll down to first base. First pitch of the at-bat with a man on first. Taking all the way, ball 1. That ball is down and away for ball 2. That pitch is up and away, ball 3. And that one just catches the outside corner for called strike 1. 3-1 count now. Runner on first for the Raiders. That pitch is swung on and fouled down the third base line. Catcher gives chase, but it squiggles off foul. Here's the pitch. And that's in there, called strike 3. 1 out in the inning. That ball is up and away. Before we wrap up here, just want to give a shout out to the crew working on today's game. Over out in center field, we have Mark Aiello working our center field and wireless camera for us back at the studio. We have Andrea Santo Pietro doing all those great replays that you've been seeing throughout this game. John Woodland on audio. Sam Dudley doing the technical directing or possibly graphics, and then Ashley Hardy doing technical directing or possibly graphics. I'm not sure who's on what, but they're both great, so whoever's doing what is doing a great job. That ball gets fouled back to the backstop. I like to think the important thing is that I remembered everyone's names and I said them correctly. That pitch swung on, fouled down the left field line, out of play. So 1 out with a runner on first for Watertown. This game getting ready to almost eclipse 2.5 hours. Swung on and missed. And he's going to take a seat as he goes down on strikes. 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Oh, 1 pitch. Taken all the way. Checking on the runner at first. He's back head first, slide safely. That pitch is down in the strike zone, but called for a strike. Off the end of the bat, that goes down the left field line. And breaking ball right over the middle of the plate. And that is going to retire the side. So Lexington 8, Watertown 3. Let's see if the teams line up for the handshake line, and it looks like they are. So that is going to do it for this scrimmage between Watertown and Lexington from Victory Field. Lexington 8, Watertown 3. We'll be back on Friday with some more coverage, and the baseball team will start their season next week. Until then, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.